Postcolgi enters. सही है. Talk intent on keeping job at Nottingham Forest. Defeat at Newcastle is his 7th match without a win. You have to be up for the fight and struggle. Angel Postecoglou is determined to convince Nottingham Forest's board to retain faith in his managerial philosophy when he holds talk with the club's owner Evangelos Marinkais this week. The Australian was in defiant, almost jocular form after Sunday's 2-0 defeat at Newcastle. It extended the manager's winless run to 7 games since he succeeded Nino Espirito Santo last month. Yet Postecoglou, who unusually started with the back five, detected signs of progress as he prepared for vital talks with directors to discuss the future. Yes, it is a lost cause, he said sarcastically. I see it as an exciting opportunity. You have to be up for the fight and the struggle. I had be silly to be sitting here at the age of 60 if I lacked self-belief or fight. Even in schoolyard, I picked fights with people that beat me up. Warming to his them, Postecoglou gently mocked the pantomime of Premier League football that almost demands that at least one manager is always deemed under pressure. I get that it is a part of the fanfare of the Premier League that it needs one manager to be in the spotlight. If people want to access me 3.5 weeks into the job, there is nothing I can say or do that will change that. But I have seen, and many of people, the result will come in the meantime. It is a struggle and a fight, and there is nothing wrong with that. We don't have things handed to us on a plate. In life, we have to fight. I have fought for things all my life. Why does everyone want everything neatly packed? The attitude today seems to be that as soon as something goes wrong, you change it amid much hilarity. He suggested that one reporter might have been a lost cause at some point, but your parents did not give up on you. Postecoglou then retorted that he had walked into the city ground with his eyes wide open and always understood that his attempt to alter Forest's playing style would not be straightforward. I knew this was a challenging, he said. There is nothing wrong with that. I don't know why people think challenges are a burden. I love a challenge. The alternative is sitting at home watching games, and I don't want to do that. If you guys have lot of fun around it, I don't care. Could not care. Allah says. Premier League's 10 talking points from the weekend action. Dio keen to offer Anderson shelter. Elite Anderson spent much of Nottingham Forest 2-0 defeat on Tyneside, reminding Eddie Hobby how much he lost when Premier League spending rules demanded that the midfielder be sold to fend off the threat of a points deduction that was back in the summer of 2024. 2024 rarely looked back since joining Forest. For much of the first half, he eclipsed even Sandro Tonali and overall was comfortably Angu Postecoglou's best player. Yet Anderson is human, and when his loose pass offered Bruno Guimaraes an opening, his subsequent attempt at a recovery tackle was Mistimade and Saint Guimarães crashing in the area. The Brazilian had already shot Newcastle ahead from 25 yards, and from the spot Nick Wolty made Whistleworth it forced manager to survive. More Rodri worries Mar City win. Rodri's face told its own story as he sank to the Brentford turf. Starting at his feet there was a barely discernible shake of the head of his body. Language spoke volumes. Another setback for the Spanish midfielder. It looked more than likely Pep Guardiola has tried his best to manage Rodri's game time this season since his tentative return from a serious knee injury. Now he must put more faith in alternatives. Nico Gonzalez is the most obvious replacement in City's squad, yet has only been trusted to start one league game since 23 August. The former Porto man was a $49 million Euros signing in January and will be needed to set up more often after his 22nd minute introduction for City in West London. On whether he can bring a measure of control akin to peak Rodri, the jury is still out. Injuries have hampered Mason Mount's United career. His start against Sunderland was only his 17th in the league. Since joining in 2023 from Chelsea, his pedigree has never been questioned, but finding a position and sufficient minutes to play himself into form has proved problematic. On Saturday his touch was impeccable and he brought creativity and discipline in equal measure, which might explain why Ruben Amorim selected him over Matthews Cunha. He took his goal superbly, scoring the quickest opener for Amorim's team since his first game in the charge 11 months ago. In an intense environment, Mount's experience could prove vital. I see myself as bringing a lot of energy into the team and setting up the press at times, being a bit of a catalyst going forward. Mount said that is always something that I focus on, helping the people around me and really bringing the energy to get the goal was obviously massive for me.